The genius gunslinger remade by Hollywood in 2024 is finally here. Compare the original version in Thailand. In addition to replacing the talented heroine with a Chinese, the ending of the story is completely different from the previous one. Genius high school student Lin brings hope to the whole family. From China to extra noble high school in America. As a straight student is the target of all schools. The principal wants to keep Lin. Not only did he promise to waive all tuition fees for him, even I will also introduce him to the board of trustees of MIT in the future. But even with such generous conditions, Lin's household income, it can only barely cover his daily expenses. As the school season approaches, Lin also met her first friend. Wits, the rich second generation. It was the school that helped Lin integrate into the collective assistance object, and he is indeed a qualified friend. When someone left the food Lin brought from home. Auntie. Learning that Lin's academic performance is amazing, Grace is very envious. Because of the midterm exam ceremony tomorrow, if it can't exceed 3 points. So, his father wouldn't allow him to pursue his dream of becoming an actor. The exam went ahead as scheduled the next day. These can only be regarded as simple junior high school topics in China. It left Grace scratching her head. Lin on the side doesn't want to see her friend give up her dream. So I made a bold decision. Little did he know that this was the beginning of his descent into the abyss. Lin wrote the answer on the eraser. Then quietly put it in his shoes. After a glance, suddenly the invigilator stood up. Lin quickly put away her feet. Fortunately, the teacher did not find any abnormalities after the inspection, but Grace feels guilty. Get this work hard in a few days. Lance is excited. When even inviting Lin, came to boyfriend Ty's villa. He came from a poor family. Where have you seen such an extravagant house? But rich people also have problems. It turns out that Ty's father made his fortune in cryptocurrency, but his son failed to inherit his mind. If you can't get into college, so his father will donate all the money to the foundation. And Grace invited Lin to her boyfriend's house. It is hoped that by cheating, help yourself and your friends prepare for the final exam. And in addition to paying a large sum of money, I will also persuade my father funding for Lin's future university. Soon Lin was relying on a genius mind. Thought of a way to cheat, passing the answer through different piano chords. And this rich second generation can learn piano more or less. Pretty soon, Lin's approach worked well in the exam room. Not only did they gain friendship, the money he earned also helped his father pay off his foreign debt. And my father always thought, here's him giving piano lessons at school. Time of arrival. To the final exam. It can be sent as a test paper. Lin was completely dumbfounded. Originally, the school found that there were many similarities in the exams of recent students, so 2 different test papers were randomly arranged. This completely disrupted Lin's plan. Looking at the anxious looks of my classmates, Bank, also a straight student, there must be something between them. But he didn't break. They turned it in early, left the examination room. Lin soon calmed down. I finished writing the test paper in my hand, quickly. Then he flipped up and down and passed the answer. Take advantage of the student's handover as cover. I quickly exchanged the exam papers with the next. There were only 20 minutes left. Lin did her best. Finally answered the other test paper. As the teacher stopped the exam, Lin has already passed on the answer. Fortunately, there is no danger. But just as the 3 of them were rejoicing. But suddenly, there was an announcement on the radio that Lin and her male classmates go to the principal's office. Originally, it was Bank who reported that the male classmate plagiarized Lin's test paper. But just then, the invigilator said that their papers were different. So that's not cheating. But just as Lin was about to leave, pretty soon, the headmaster announced the punishment to Lin's father. Lin was supposed to represent the school, but doing something that is not in line with school values. So the headmaster decided to cancel his full scholarship. Lin just felt like her life had hit rock bottom. Looking at Grace's life with her boyfriend. But just then, Grace called. It turned out that she was a matchmaker. Met with Pat's parents. The 2 have already stood between the pyramids. They value their faith more. After learning that Lin had the ability to help Parker improve his grades, the 2 promise, as long as Parker can get into Columbia University, then the 3 of them can read together. And bear all expenses during the period. Soon Lin discovered the loophole in the exam. It turned out that due to the time difference, so the test in Philadelphia is 3 hours early. As long as he takes the Philadelphia exam with a fake identity, then keep all the answers in your head. Finally, take advantage of the gap between the exams to send the answer. Each paper has 150 multiple choice questions, even within the stipulated time. You can only write down half of it at most. He needs the help of another genius. The screen changes. Bank is getting ready to go home, but the car stopped in front of him. A group of people got out of the car. He couldn't help but kill him, eaten up, until midnight, and Bank managed to get out of the trash can. At the same time, Ted from his own circle gathered many rich second generations due to the high risk this time, so you have to earn more at once. And the way they cheat is with a pencil. The pencil is engraved with a stripe code, and depending on the width of the stripe, corresponding to its options. The next morning, Lin appeared at Bank's door. Bank got beat up last night. Wounds all over the face made him miss the interview for studying abroad. And this is also Bank. He was also born into poverty. The only chance to change your life against the sky. Learning of Lin's plans. And Bank was silent. Just silently picked up the business card left by Lin. That afternoon. So, Banksy shows up in the studio with 3 people. After several rehearsals, the collaboration of the 2 geniuses is flawless. Then the 2 of them forge new identities. And now, there's one last thing left to rehearse. That is, one's called, how to face police questioning. It turned out that Pat was taking revenge on Bank the last time I reported Lin for cheating. That's why I got someone to beat him up. An angry Bank immediately decided to quit. When the bus arrives at the station, but his heart began to shake. The family is already overwhelmed. If this opportunity is missed again, then life will really lose hope completely. Bank still goes back. In the train. Soon the 2 arrived in Philadelphia. But the bad news kept coming. The old examination room was suddenly abandoned, replaced by a modern university. Security is greatly improved, but there is no turning back arrow when you start work. Came to the registration desk the next morning. The staff were unable to identify the forged passwords. The 2 rushed into the bathroom. I hid my phone in the toilet. Then he entered the examination room uneasily, with the examiner's order. The 2 began to write hard. The questions will be answered soon. The key is to keep all the answers in mind. The first exam is over. The 2 took advantage of a 10-minute gap, hurried to the bathroom. Take out the phone. Send the answer with the memory in your head. But Bank suddenly backtracked. It turned out that the beating had made Bank angry. That's when the lion decided to open his mouth. But at this time, Pat has no right to refuse. I have to turn to 50,000 as a deposit. Finally, Bank sent the answer. The 2 hurriedly printed the label and attached it to the pencil. Return to the classroom. The second exam begins immediately. They do it again. After writing the test paper, I memorized the answer in my heart. But when the exam is over, Lin, who came to the bathroom, found that there's a big queue going on. And Bank on the other side. It has encountered a huge crisis. Facing the urgent outside the door, and Bank didn't care. Hurry up and write the answer. Send it out. The next second. Bank is anxious to destroy the phone. But where does he stand a chance? On the other side, Lin finally entered the bathroom. But he just turned on his phone. A knock on the door rang in my ears. It turned out to be urging him to hurry. Lin up. The teacher, who returned to the exam room, pretended to be calm. Turns out he stuffed his phone into his shirt. Wait until he comes out of the bathroom. Lin's heart was uneasy. If Bank confesses himself, then your life is completely ruined. Lin used the opportunity to pour water, put the phone in the water dispenser. Then I went back to the examination room, calmed down him. The answer that has not been sent out in the previous paper. And they started answering questions, but lost so many answers from Bank. There is no possibility of him memorizing it alone. But just then, a melody came to his mind. His fingers unconsciously tapped on the table. Pretty soon, Lin uses her musical talent. I actually wrote down all the answers. Right now he needs to leave the exam room early. So Lin took the pencil and stabbed it in the throat. The intense stimulation made him vomit violently. Then Lin said she was unwell. He hurriedly left the examination room. At the same time, the principal didn't cross-examine anything from Bank's mouth. So I decided to treat her as ordinary treating, cancel his grades and let go. But just then, they discovered that the address on Bank's passport turned out to be fake. Lin quietly retrieves her phone. I heard the voice of the police. It turned out that through monitoring, police suspect he is an accomplice of Bank. Lin sneaks into the classroom after changing clothes. Finally evaded the police, escaped from school. She will quickly send the remaining answer. But just then, hey. Fortunately, Lin, as a Chinese, the brain is more flexible. Just took off my coat. He played the principal around. Pretty soon, the 2 made the agreed intersection. Then I got on the return journey, aircraft without a doubt. Everyone was admitted to their favorite university. We partied like crazy at Pat's house. Lin also began to look forward to the rest of her college life. But Grace suddenly said, he and Pat decided to postpone their departure for college, ready to play for another year. But Lin understands they can waste their time at will. But you can't do it under your own conditions. It turns out that I am in the eyes of these people. It's just a tool. He went home angry. News on TV. It turned out that there was serious cheating in the examination room where he was locked. Since the main culprit cannot be found, all grades are cancelled. Lin's heart was full of guilt. He understands those who want to change their destiny through exams. How innocent and desperate it must be. To make up for the mistakes they made, Lin found Pat's father. He has all the evidence of Pat's crime, even if you are implicated. But once the fish dies, then the Pat family's reputation will be ruined. This obviously caught the opponent's life door, and Lin has only one purpose. That's for the more than 100 test takers whose grades were cancelled. Provide a full year of study counseling fees. After getting a positive answer from the other party, Lin was ready to leave without the slightest hesitation. But Pat's father stopped him.